My wife and I have been fostering for just under 2 years now. We've only had the one child, and that's only purely because she's come to us on a long-term placement. Our little girl's 12 years old at present. She came to us via a slightly unorthodox route, really, because me and my wife and I, we're quite a way out of borough. But I worked locally in Kent in a local children's home and met our little girl whilst I was working there. So we got on particularly well with this little girl, and we asked the question, could we foster her? Obviously the answer was yes, and so she's been with us nearly 2 years now. This was always going to be a long-term placement, from sort of this age to well into adulthood. I suppose the challenges come that, because we are so committed to want to deliver, a normal family upbringing for her. I find we probably go beyond what is required of us, but that's purely for that. We've got an end goal for her. We want her to be, a normal functioning member of society. We want her to do well in her education. We want her to go and get a normal job like everybody else does, really. So, we certainly find we try so much harder than we ever did with our own daughter, which sounds terrible to say, really, that we're trying harder with a child that's not ours, but her needs are greater than our own daughter's needs were. I think, when you say what's the difficulty, I think it's emotional, really. I think, you find because you're so invested in this child, you want for her to do so well. Not that we're pushing her to be a straight A child, we just want her to deliver a normal childhood for her, So we're fortunate enough, we've got the time on our hands to be able to do that and deliver that to this little girl. And it's hard, but then I have its rewards. It really is, and it's in the details, in the little changes you see, because the big ones are fairly obvious sometimes, but sometimes it's just the little changes in her. Here we are nearly 2 years later, and you think, that's massive. That is so big. She has been the most brilliant ambassador to this little girl. I mean, I say our daughter's 22 years old. We couldn't ask for more, really. So, it's a little bit frosty to start with. It wasn't plain sailing. It was more of a case that I don't really want to get involved, but she couldn't fail not to get involved. And when she saw the little girl, I think it makes such a difference. When you hear of something, it's never quite the same as actually seeing it. And once she saw her and engaged with her, it's been absolutely brilliant. I knew of certain members in the Bexley outfit before we fostered because of my work at the children's home. And I've got to say, since we've been on board and jumped through all the hoops, etc., to get where we are today, they've been absolutely brilliant. We've had to push for certain things, that we have certain requirements that our little girl needs. We state our case. They've been very receptive to it, and on occasions we've probably had to have the odd cross word, but they have been very, very supportive. And I don't like to say we've got everything we ever wanted, but what we need, it's not our needs, it's what our little girl needs. They've been brilliant. I would recommend it. It is life-changing for these children. It is an enormous sacrifice on you personally, but it really is worth it. People say you'll lose friends and possibly even relatives, and then you think, no, that won't happen. But it does happen. But they don't all disappear. Obviously, not everybody shares the same view as you. And if you're really honest about it, we knew who those people were likely to be that wouldn't share our view on doing what we did. But we still see them, we still talk to them, we still converse. So it's been life-changing, really. Yes, it really is hard work at times, and sometimes we go to bed and we look at each other and think, God, we're absolutely knackered, but it is worth it, because when you see the laughter and the fun and the change, in our case, in our little girl, it's just so worth it. It really, really is. You don't get into it because it's easy hours or because the money's brilliant, because the hours are long and the money it's not always about that. It's about what you can deliver to that child, and you've got to see it to believe it. I think that's the thing. You've got to see the change in this little girl's life, and hopefully her aspirations for the future. You think, that's why it's worth doing.